And we're back. Oh shit. Up to my shoulders in crap now, boys. Now that's what you call bare bones. Probably should have just rebuilt the whole thing. What do you reckon, Tim? Put a 2204 in it. Might actually sound good then. Nah, it should sound alright. Just taking the piss. As I was working on the PCB in the previous video, every time I flipped the board over, another wire would break off. So I just disconnected everything. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I was sitting here just after the last video and lightning struck like 2 streets back. It scared the piss out of me. I'm glad I wasn't working on live gear then. First storm of the season. You back, Kev? Do you ever work, mate? I don't like the look of these transformer mounts. Let me just see what I'm looking at. See them? They're just like crappy self-tapper screws that are barely penetrated. It's got friggin' 2 kilos of iron mounted on it. It's not real good. I mean, they still feel tight. Oh, that one's not. Can you hear that? That's the output tranny rocking back and forth. So it's loosened off a bit. I might drill them out. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Might drill them out and put some proper mounts on there. Metric machine screws with nylock nuts and washers and whatnot. Yeah, there's like not one thing on this amp that's okay. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, on with the show. So you can see it's pretty manky inside. The thing I wasn't looking forward to was disconnecting these. Just more shit I gotta write down, you know. But I think I better take everything out. Fucking strip it right down to its bones. Start again. Give this thing a wash, clean off that signature, cause fuck you. And just give her a good scrub overall. Clean off all the shmoo. And put some proper mounts in there. I'm putting new sockets in. I'll put some Beltons in there if they fit. Sorry Kev, I didn't buy them off you either. And mount them again with proper mounts, nylock nuts and whatnot. That's where the reverb tranny was. You can see a little footprint there. The reverb tranny's actually okay. I tested it off cam. I didn't expect that with all the damage around that area. The leads are proper burnt though, and it looks like someone's trimmed them to do that mod that I was showing you in the previous video, so I'm going to have to extend them, which is a bit of a pain. I hate extending stuff by like 2 inches. You can get pills for that. It's like, you always need that extension cord that's like 1 metre long. Alright, I'll just take a photo of that. Pretty sketch, I know, but better than nothing. I mean, you can document absolutely everything and write everything down, but you spend half your time writing shit. It's good to use some photos, at least get everything in the ballpark, and then just check over everything with schematic eyes. Eyes. The other thing you can do is, if you're in a hurry, which again is a little bit sketchy, but if the leads are long enough, just snip them off, but leave a bit of insulation on the snipped off end. If you've got different colour codes, that'll give you a hint as to what wires go where. Or you can just do it properly. It's up to you. You do you, man. Oh, Jesus. That's the board. All these components on the bottom, they actually belong on the top. You can see all the empty spots there. R473, 215, C23, blah blah. They're all supposed to be on the top of the board, so it's really got me fucked why they're there. It's hard to tell. They've got a similar look to the stock parts, like the sort of the stripes on the resistors. They're the same tantalum cap, same series of film caps. So it's got me fucked why they're on the bottom. It's not like they didn't fit. I mean, if they were replaced, they're probably, you would have had to remove them from the top. So unless they just drop them out and then fish them out from the side of the chassis or something to avoid removing the board, because we all know how fun removing the board is. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened, but it's just strange that there's so many parts replaced, like, and badly, like really badly, and they look like the stock parts. I don't know. There's a story behind this amp. I don't know. I don't think the owner knows either, but it would be nice to find out. It's just such weird shit going on with whoever's worked on this before. Don't know. Anyway, hey Kev, I think that was before you stocked Beltons. So you never answered. Do you have the 220 mics? Sure, there's 220 mic, 300 volt. I might be wrong, but I thought I checked pretty thoroughly your website. I couldn't find them. Oh, it's got a dent. That's not good. Yeah, F&T, 220 microfarad, 300 volt. I know you have the Vatco ones, but I don't know. I feel like I should be paying more than $5 for a cap, whether it's good or not. No, but truth be told, I got them from this eBay guy. I can't remember his actual name, but I'll look it up. Hang on. He's pretty cool. He's cool just like you, Kev. You're both bloody legends in my book. He's got some bits you don't have, and you've got some bits he doesn't have. So between yous, I can actually semi-half-assed run a business. His username's like Vicar Maz or something. Yeah, I'm just scraping off the whatever the hell this shit is. Try not to cut any traces in the process. We're going to lose some solder mask probably, but... Sorry, silk screening I mean, not solder mask. I won't lose solder mask. So there's silicon from Mesa, and then there's some grey shit from someone, all layered up. Clean it off with some thinners. Try alcohol first, it's a bit more gentle. Isopropyl alcohol is what I use. It's gentle, but it can be too gentle. It can be, like, it won't get anything off. It's good for cleaning Tolex, because it won't attack it. Try and use paint thinners on that. You got to recover your amp. What's his name? Just looking at the internets. User. VicMaz64. And his store name is Tube Amp Shop. He calls them tubes and he's an Aussie. That's just wrong. Kev, if you get those 220s, I'll buy them off you till the cows come home, mate. And the Fender style lamp things we were talking about. I actually don't mind your ones. Your ones are fine, but fanboys be like, what the fuck? Nice and warm in the factory today, in the workshop. T-shirt weather. Which is good because tomorrow's going to be max 15. Alright. Oh, you know him, Kev. What's his name? Is his name Vic? A bit of brush action. Schmoo be gone. Ooh, alcohol. You don't want to drink that shit. You don't want to breathe this shit either. Right. Get some of that. So these are all the wires that broke off when all the transformer power transformer wires that broke off when I was flexing the board back and forward, so I'll fish them out of the holes. Probably should have gutted this whole thing, but yeah, it'll be good when it's good. I don't know what's on this board, but When I hit it with the soldering iron, it smells like cat piss. Must be Tui's. So now I've gotten the board out. I'm gonna clean up all the joints, put in all the new parts. I'm just gonna like bath the whole thing in alcohol. It doesn't hurt the components as long as you let it dry thoroughly. The alcohol does have a habit of absorbing, or is hygroscopic, so it attracts moisture from the atmosphere, which isn't real good when you got 500 plus volts on a board. So you got to let it dry pretty thoroughly, especially when it's raining like it is, well, on and off today. Oh, look at that, coming out like a bloody bought one. Ah, you fucker. It is confidence inspiring when you get rid of all the destroyed connections and there's still nice traces underneath. Makes you feel like it might actually work. Very time consuming though. I think something's blocked again, fuck. Yeah. I'm kind of in a bit of disarray at the moment. I keep going between chassis board, unorganised. When I've got the video on, I lose my mind. Fuck, this is gonna be like a new amp. I'm of two minds with that. If you make an amp too nice, people go, oh, fucking Mesa, I could have one of them, and they'll go buy one. Instead of buying one of mine that'll probably last 50 years. Maybe. Double J's playing all the man shit today. I'm too old for Triple J. Just shits me. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn, Triple J. Fuck, I talk some shit when I'm working. Getting there. Okay, that's nice, isn't it? That's how it should look. Not like... Oh god. Not like that. Focus. Focus. Just in general. Look at all the shit. Like... It's gonna need a bit of a soak. I'll change all those parts to the other side of the board like I was saying. And give her a good soak, probably even overnight. Right. Yeah, someone's had a go. You can see they labelled the holes with a pencil with the colour of the wire that went to it. So that's probably what I should have done, but no point because then I would have cleaned it off. Might fuck this chassis off, just work on the board. I don't know why I'm doing this. That's better. Blue mat of death. Fuck, why didn't I do that half an hour ago? Idiot. Black wire going somewhere. Photo. Really up. Should be reflowing pretty much every joint. Again, I don't know why I said yes to this. Probably don't want to look right at my crotch, do you? Just drop the camera down a bit. Right, get rid of the last of the carbon comp resistors, which is these two here. I don't have the same value in stock. They're 150k across, I think I was saying in the last video. They balance the two caps. Since the caps are only rated at 300 volts and it's got 450 across the two of them, if it becomes imbalanced, if the caps they do vary a lot in manufacture. There's a pretty wide tolerance for electrolytic caps of any type. One of them can be getting more than 300 volts and the other one less. So the resistor forms a potential divider and basically makes sure that this point in the middle is halfway or thereabouts between ground and 450 volt. So therefore the caps are well within their rating. If you get rid of them, which I've seen on some amps, your caps can fail prematurely or straight away. So the value's not really critical. You just got to watch the wattage. So they're 150k, 1 watt. So I calculated that was like they're dissipating about half a watt each if it's 450 volt, which is well within the range. That's why they're not discoloured, but still I don't like carbon comps, so they're going. And the only ones I've got over quarter watt, I don't really want to put quarter watts in there. 220s, 220k. So they dissipate even less, but they are 3 watt. They'll do the job. When I put it back together, I'll just check that it is pretty balanced. If the DC, or if the leakage of the cap is a bit more than expected, then 220 might be too high a value and you need something down around 100k mark. But they're pretty good caps, the F&Ts, so I'll chuck it in and just check it when I first power it up. Chuck it in, mate. Pliers. When people work on Mesas, because the chassis is such a clusterfuck to undo, a lot of the time people work from the other side of the board and try not to remove the board, which is admirable, but somewhat, well, too easy to be true. So it's kind of hard to see there, but you can see just here, that blob of solder, that's just waiting to fall off because someone soldered apart from the other side. The crappy, what do you call it? Oxidized solder forms a bloody bulb on the other side of the board, and see how easy that fell off. And then that's floating around in your amp and can short shit out, especially on modern amps where the component density is so high that would probably bridge 2 connections if it was rocking around. So it's not a real good way to go, and just not knowing what your joint looks like on the other side, I don't know, I try to avoid it. It's probably why I take 3 times longer than some other bloke. It's nothing worse than sending a job out though and then thinking, oh fuck, did I check that? I'd rather just check everything. Waiting for the phone call. Someone on tour and their amp caught fire. Cutters, yep. Sweet as brew. Alright, let's put some caps in. Ones that Kev couldn't supply. Put the value facing up for old mates. Professional courtesy. Not one of those guys that fucking goops their amp and shit to try and protect the circuit or nothing like that. I want to make them easy as I can to work on. Just like that. Doesn't have to go that far, but nice gentle curve. No stress. Just chillax capacitor. Oh, help if I put it in the right way. That would be good. You ever seen what happens to these when you put them in the wrong way? Worst smell in the world. An exploding capacitor smells like if you solidified a year's worth of urine and set it on fire. It's about what a burning cap smells like. Alright, see they're flapping around a bit now. And actually, when you solder them, they end up surprisingly stiff, but I'm still going to add a RTV neutral cure silicon to stiffen her up a bit. Because they will shake around during playing, as well as is that pad missing? Yes. Fuck. That's only a ground plane. Alright, so that pad's missing, but it doesn't go anywhere. The ground plane that it's connected to is on the other side. So, yeah, we'll just fold it over for mechanical securing purposes. Same goes with that one. Here's me talking up their PCBs in the previous video. Through hole plating, I mean. Their PCB design is dog shit, but at least they got through hole plating. I think there's a little bit of the solder sleeve down in there. Maybe not. Alright, so that one, because there's no pad on the bottom, we'll make sure we solder the top of it because nothing's come through from the other side like it normally does. It's a big ground plane, so it takes a bit longer to heat up. Might do that for all of them. Should have stiffened up a fair bit. Still going to reinforce them with silicon later on. Let's get the other caps in there. Clean up their holies first. Fun, fun, fun. I'm actually uploading, you might have seen on the page, to YouTube as we speak in high def. This does video high def. I record on the camcorder as well as streaming, so the high def videos on the memory card in the camcorder. I'll shoot that up on YouTube later on. The version that stays on Facebook is just the compromised quality that they need to be able to broadcast live. On YouTube you can sit there uploading all day and eventually it uploads in high def. For the fucking 12 subscribers I've got anyway. Share it around, boys and girls. Help a brother out. There's got to be some nerds out there that are interested in this shit. Maybe if I was more entertaining. Sorry, I can't entertain and think at the same time. Sweet as. It's therapeutic watching someone solder. Get on it. One more F&P cap. They look nice on there, don't they? Very pretty. Almost too good for that PCB. Where's the last one? Oh, there it is. Radio's playing the Offspring, actual good Offspring. Not that kind of fly for a white guy fucking puss. Come on. These are the old leads off the old cat we just slipped off earlier today and forgot about. Put some fresh solder in there. Just helps all the crap flow off, get out of the joint. Two good pads, nice. Straighten the leads up a bit. It's very exciting watching, I know. Alright, got that one soldered in. What the fuck is that? Just no. That's classic. Don't about stairway to heaven. It's the trace to nowhere. Look at that. Go designers. Pin. Trace. Doesn't touch either of them. And just fucking stops. No via or nothing, just stops. That's a design fuck up, that is. They've changed something and then forgotten to get rid of that track. That's funny as. I wonder how many of them are on here. Good on you, Mesa. Fucking genius. Put a patent on that one. Never seen that before, except for in RF stuff where it's like some weird RF black magic. Like a fucking inductor or some shit on the board. Never seen it in a valve amp. Suppose I can't really say much. I was 4 years old when this thing was built. I couldn't build valve amps back then either. Alright, where are we? So, now I want to... I've mounted all the new components on this side. So, they're all broken wires. I might just disconnect this because it's just going to break off. Might take some notes first. Probably pretty boring viewing. So they give numbers to the connections. So a colour and a number. So it'll be like black 2.5. Right. Black 2.5 goes to a pot. I don't know. Wiper. Grey goes to a pot. Clockwise. Red goes to a pot clockwise. Red 3.5. Orange 3.8 goes to pot counterclockwise. Yellow 2.5 goes to counterclockwise. Green 2.8 goes to a pot clockwise. Brown 2.8 boring viewing. Did I get green 2.8, grey 3.5? I don't know how this numbering works. Grey 3.5 goes to pot clockwise. Alright. Disconnect that lot. So I just got asked to repair a hair straightener. Has anyone here ever repaired a hair straightener? I'm thinking they're probably throw-out items like everything else, but who knows? Might be something simple. Probably have some kind of temperature control circuit in there. Apparently some of these hair straighteners are like $300-400. Oh, fucking hell. What happened to just using the iron and tea towel? I don't know, I don't have hair. Alright, we've got one freestanding board. I've got to replace that cap too. Now what I might do is move this stuff to the other side of the board. Well, probably replace it in the process because it's all corroded. Figure out what the shit's going on here because stuff ain't in the hole it's supposed to be. That's some kind of modification. Don't know if it's someone that didn't know what they were doing or if it's actually a field revision. Obviously we've got all this fuckery here that we've got to redo. Yeah, all the components have been moved from this side to the other, so I've got to figure out why. You can see got some vaporized traces here, which I'll have to put link wires underneath for. I might even, if it's really bad, mount turrets on it and just mount the components to the turrets, which I've done before. It's a pretty strong way of doing it. And replace the tantalum caps and the bypass caps with new ones because they're probably rooted too. And work on cleaning the chassis up, cleaning all the boards up. Sort of halfway there. Don't let it beat you. Alright, well, I might just change this cap before I move on. 16 volt, 3300. Got some 35 volters. When I buy stuff in bulk, I don't buy just that voltage rating because next week I might need the next one up. There's no harm done by having a higher voltage rating than required. Usually it's only a couple of cents different, so just go for the bigger one. Obviously physical size comes into it too, but the modern caps for the same value are like a fraction of the size of the caps in the 80s. So that being a 35 volter is larger, being a high value too. But if I had a 16 volt 3300, it would probably be half that size. A modern one. Just touch up those pads on this side as well. Look a bit corroded. Here's a connection to this one, so I want to make sure it's got a good connection. Sometimes the vias, which is well, you know, through plated hole, that's how they make connection from one side of the board to another. And in high current stuff like this, for example, the low voltage supply, it can blow the connection between the boards. So although the traces look fine from the outside, there's no physical connection between the two sides of the board, so the circuit doesn't work. All works erratically. Of course, it gets tricky on modern stuff because often there's not just particularly on the digital gear. It's not just 2 layers like this one on each face. There's actually layers in the middle of the board too, running links left, right and centre. The only way you know if one of them's failed is if the board catches fire. And there's not a lot you can do about that. I've seen people dig them out and basically with a Dremel excavate the board and manage to make stuff work again, but it's not really something you want to bet the house on. Look at that. Beautiful. Get the polarity right. Fuck, I hope that fits. I'll have to check it in the chassis. Normally I go out of my way to get smaller ones, but don't know what I was thinking that day. Alright, one at a time, I guess. This one here. So, R361 used to go between... Shit. There's no designators on the schematic, so I'm just tracing the circuit here. So that's V1. That's V1. And that used to go between there and there. This is where it gets tricky. Did I say tricky? I meant fucking annoying. What pin is that connecting to? Oop. Bear with me. So that's V1. And that's pin 1, which is the plate of the first stage. So, plate of first stage. That one. So it should be 100k and a 0.47. So that's a 0.05, close enough. And a 220k going from that to the next one. 220k there. What? 100k, 100k, 100k. 220k. 1500. So that's biased towards the top of its range. That's probably gonna clip. Oh, hang on. I'm looking. Fuck. They got me again. They're going the wrong way. Alright, this one, it's like an Arabic schematic. It goes from right to left. Fucking hell. And doing it upside down, I might add. But, you know, the things I do for you. So here's the input. And then comes through here. That's the grid, that's the plate. So I'm looking at V1A. Well, looks like V2. I'm going to have to look at this. The circuit and the board aren't laid out like you'd expect. So where was the input? Don't know. Disconnected it. This is where it gets fun. This is going to make for a pretty boring video as I trace this circuit and figure it out. So I don't know, let's do some more meat and potatoes. R231, why are you on the wrong side of the board? What value are you? $241. Yeah, fuck this. I'll do that off cam. That's too boring. I'm just going to be sitting here staring at the thing, figuring it out. Let's do fun stuff with the chassis. Chassis. Shazza, as we call them here in Australia. Oh, that's pretty loose. Look at the shitty little screws. Bloody tiny. What's that gonna hold? It's lasted this long, I guess, though, but still. I might have sat there doing nothing the whole time, too. I'll piss them off. Put some machine screws in there. Well, proper like. That's the tranny. Code. For funsies. Fuck, sounds like someone just killed my neighbour's dog. Can you dig it? Yes, we can. Ooh. A little bit of urine there or something. I don't know. Something corrosive. It's fucking had a good go at the zinc plated steel. Can I get that out? Yep. Sweet. So there's pretty much a bare chassis. It's got a mains lead going in. I might take that out too, because I want to extend that earth. Being a bit paranoid, but your earth lead's supposed to be like 3 or 4 times longer than your mains lead, or you know, your active and neutral. Because if you yank on the cord and this gland gives up and lets the cord out, you want these to rip off the board or whatever they're connected to. You want them to rip off before the earth lets go by like a factor of 4 or something. Because you want this thing to be grounded at all times. If that ground comes off first and then they come off, you've got a live chassis. You go to catch the amp as it's falling over because you probably caused it by tripping over the lead, and you get fucking electrocuted. It just tickles in the US, but in Australia it fucking kills you. 240 volts. Shot to the heart. Ah, come on, you bastard. They make proper pliers for doing this. I should buy some. I'm too cheap though. I'd rather cut my hand open instead. Come on, you prick. Gotcha. That ain't no good neither. And every second amp that comes in has primary insulation showing. People just don't care. That stuff's not that flexible. Well, yeah, it's flexible. It bends sharper than this stuff, but then it breaks. This stuff sort of naturally limits the radius that you can bend it to, whereas now it just can bend like whatever. And that stuff gives up the ghost. And you go to grab it, pull it out of the wall, bang. Now I've copped 240 a couple of times and it was not fun. The first thing you do is yell at yourself for doing it, being a fuckwit. The second thing you do is punch the desk, and that hurts more than the 240 volts. Alright, now what I need, this chassis is pretty bent, you can see in the reflection there, all the holes. That happens because there was no washer on the other side and it was self-tapping screw holes, so screws I mean. So that's not the way to mount a chassis, transformer to a chassis. These things are heavy. You drop the amp a couple of times and it just pulls out. And yeah, well, you saw the amount of effort to even get to this point. You got to remove everything to get to those bolts. They're under the board. So yeah, no fun would be had. So I need a big chunk of metal for the bottom, something heavy. Oh yeah, just the thing. Big chunk of stainless. It's probably about 5 kilos worth. Solid. And because it's round, it sits on the desk hard against the chassis. Fucking sweet as. Just take out these standoffs because they're in the way. And the grommet. Sit it like that. I really didn't think I was going to get this deep in this thing. Look at it, it's like I'm building the thing in the factory. Except I'm not American. Alright, let's bash that flat with my copper-faced hammer. One more. Prepare to be deafened. That's copper face. Probably shouldn't do this with my laptop right next to me. Panel beating. We do it all here at Brad's Guitar Garage. You name it. We're stupid enough to do it. By we, I mean me. better. And by we, I mean me. There's a lot of repair shops that are like, we can take care of that, and it's just one guy. That's right, mate. Be proud that you're just one guy. Alright, so what I'll do is have a tetanus shot, and then might take a quick photo of where the standoffs are, what their configuration is, and then take them all off, give the chassis a scrub, try and get some corrosion off without stripping it back to bare steel. Might do some touch-up paint where it is rusted, just so it doesn't rust again. I think I've got some silver there, and yeah, try and clean her up a bit, especially on the inside where there's actual required connections. If it's corroded, it won't be connecting so well. That can lead to hum and all sorts of problems. Quick photo of the standoffs. It's fucked if I can remember that. Take off the valve retainers. Might put some new shiny ones on there for him. They're rusted to shit. He's getting the works, I'll tell you what. Good thing I like you, Tim. Pop them out. So yeah, I told you it'd pretty much be a full day job. It wasn't non-stop today, but it's probably going to be well over, oh, well over 8 hours, that's for sure. Once I get all this shit figured out, I've done all the dumbass work now. Now I've got to actually put the thinking cap on and figure out who did what to this circuit without schematics, I might add. You don't need schematics. It'd be nice though. That one I've got, I think, is drawn by someone who's worked on one before. It's not actually a Mesa schematic, so there's no designators on it saying C whatever, you know, R whatever. So you got your designators on the board, but you don't know where that part is on the bloody schematic, so you've got to trace the circuit. Like, you may as well not have a schematic. Give that some scrapey. Ugh. It's like my sandwich maker. Added flavour. Oh, that's weird. It's like coming off in a film. Look at that. Probably shouldn't laugh at the condition of this amp, because I'm not that crash hot and it's 4 years younger than me. At least it's got hair. Whether or not it's supposed to. Scotch Brite there. This is all, I can see fingerprints from people taking it out. Your acid stays behind and leaves your fingerprint in the zinc. I wonder if you can see that. Probably not. Yeah, all of that sort of hazy area there, that's all been attacked by someone's skin. The zinc does not like it. It's a steel chassis, but it's plated with some sort of zinc alloy. Probably zinc chromate or something. Probably really bad for you and I. And my laptop. Yummy. Alright, that's fucking gross. It's probably looking at the pattern of it, probably because it's from the 80s. Probably used to be in a smoking rehearsal room. You know, bands chuffing away. It was pretty much the norm back then. It was acceptable in the 80s. So the tobacco, the nicotine just condenses on everything. Used to get that a lot. My old man ran a computer repair business in the late 80s, early 90s. Back when people used to just smoke durries right next to their computer in the office. And my brother and I were tasked with cleaning the keyboard keys. Back when you actually would buy it, because a keyboard cost like $500. And we used to just get this stuff called Nifty and put it in a Chinese food container and just let it soak. They still make the stuff, it's great. Probably better than thinners actually. Might try that, but that's an outside job. So anyway, might end this here because it's getting messy, and I don't know, keep you posted on the progress. Hopefully have a video of when it's up and running and how it should sound. Thanks for watching if you're watching. Take it squeezy.